purpose of this video is to show you how to use the Axonic multi-measurement function. Now, what you can do here is when you're in the position where you want to take your measurement from, just click on the multi-measurement button and it brings up the camera. Now you can, in this case I've zoomed too far in, so you can zoom out, and perhaps this is too close still. We could do one more. And you can do this either in portrait or in landscape mode. So what I'll do here is I might do it in portrait mode. And we click on, in fact I might go in one closer. There's our structure. We can click on here. And that brings us to the screen where what we can do is we click on the structure and it asks us for a distance to the structure. So I use my rangefinder to get that distance. So the first one is 21 meters, and I don't know the asset ID. I could enter that later. I won't worry about it for now. But the next thing we want to do is we want to get the next structure. So if we click on the plus button on the top right here, that allows us to come over here and get this structure. And again, it brings up this panel. So I'll measure the distance to that structure. 66.93 meters. And then we can do the same for the next structure. Gone and clicked in the wrong place. And that's 106.67 meters. And I think those are all the photos that we had in the field of view. Yes, that's correct. Oops, go and correct that. It's kind of moved it. And once we've done that and we've identified the distances to all the structures, then what we can do is go to this Assets tab on the top right. And the first thing we can do here is measure the span distances. So we click on that button on the left here, and that brings up this plus button, and we can click from the first structure to the second structure, and that's giving us the distance. That's 46 meters, the span, and the orientation of that span, 191.6. Then we can click on the plus again to add another span, and there again 41 meters and 219. And what we could do is, to get the angle on that structure in between, we can do the 209 degrees minus the 191, so around about 18 degrees. So that's how you measure the spans. And if you got more structures in your image, if I'd done this in portrait, you could have seen more structures, and so you could have had more spans and more turn-off angles. Now the other thing we can measure in here is we can measure the equipment heights. So first thing we want to do is we can use this button on the right here to switch which structure we're looking at. And so you'll see that there's a circle on the left hand side around this pink one. If we move that, it'll have a focus on different structures. So let's measure this the heights on this left-hand structure. So the first thing we do is we want to establish the ground level. So we click on this button on the top right, and this is just allowing us to put in an offset if we're using an offset to get the ground level, but in this case we can see the ground level, so we just click there and don't worry about that. And then what we can do is we can start adding objects that we want the height to. So I'll click on this plus button here, and we can go up, and let's say for example we want, say, to the bottom of the possum guard, And if you want to put in your owner or your voltage level, you can, but in here I'll put in the overhead line. This is our component, structure, pole structure, possum guard. And that gives us a vertical distance of 5.81 meters. And so we can keep on adding things. So let's say this top crossarm. Again, we can go in here, overhead line, structure, crossarm, crossarm. And we've got the height here. And we can just keep on adding things. You can click on this button here and it tells you the height of your different objects. I mean, we could add one more just to make it look a bit better. So put in that second crossarm, component, overhead line, structure, crossarm. And you can see you can label all sorts of different things. And yeah, it's just giving you all those different heights. So that's how you use the structure height measurement and get your span distances and bearings using Axonic.